to be quite honest with you, I think I really like Mary Poppins way better than this movie. Because Mary Poppins is so darn memorable to me and it'll always be a part of my childhood. But as for this one, I like the film, but it has one of the most biggest flaws ever. Something that really did bother me the most. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop197. This is my review for today. And today's review, ladies and dudes, I'm finally going to do another movie review for all of you. I guess you could say this movie is kind of underrated and a movie that's overlooked. I would like to say I do like this movie, but there's one big flaw I did found with this film. I promise I will tell you that in a moment, once we're going to get going on the movie review. So anyway, for my next movie review is Nanny McPhee. And yeah, it is another magical film, and it featured a lady who is known as a nanny. A funny looking nanny I have never seen before. And yeah, she's way different than Mary Poppins. That I will admit. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my next movie review of Nanny McPhee. And let's head on to the main plot of the story. It's a story about this poor widow dude named Mr. Brown. He's just really sad, really lonely, and his wife died for some unknown reason. And he's trying really hard to find some nanny who could try to take care of those kids, because those kids are being very nasty and they're not very well behaved. He tried all 17 of them, but all 17 of the nannies had failed. Until there was only one last hope that he could find a brand new nanny who could take care of his naughty little children. And it's this weird looking lady person named Nanny McPhee. And this Nanny McPhee has some mysterious powers thanks to this magical stick of hers. Every time she uses her magical stick, she does something. And it's all up to her. Take care of those naughty little children and learn a couple of lessons here and there of, being very well behaved and using good manners and just say please and thank you and all that important stuff. So that's my whole entire plot of Nanny McPhee. I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? Well, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I will say I really do like this movie. I like it, but I think I enjoyed Mary Poppins way more. Because I think Mary Poppins is a very good, memorable movie with a memorable storyline, memorable characters, memorable songs, great magic scenes that happen in the film. And I can't find any flaw about it. But as for this movie, I do like the film, but there was one big flaw I did find with this movie, something I will tell you in a moment. I will say the storyline is pretty good for the most part. The characters are likable. I do enjoy the score. It's a very nice score to listen to. It has good cinematography, good costume designs. And yes, there's one interesting fun fact you should know about Nanny McPhee that we all need to be surprised of. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Nanny McPhee. I will say for the strongest points for this movie, and I don't want to take too many things carried away about this strongest point. I really do care about in this movie because it's a big giant spoiler alert. So I'll have to make the strongest point nice and short. And it's the main climax of the film. I had a good time with the main climax of this film. Something I had a good time with. Something that I'll just cut this short. There's going to be some chaos going on in the wedding. That's all I could say about the main climax of the film. There's going to be a whole lot of chaos going on in a wedding. And it's a very, very fun scene to watch. And if there's another strongest point I do love about this movie, it's the score. I freaking love this score from start to finish, and it's a very, very fun score to listen to. And now let's head on to the interesting fun fact you should know about Nanny McPhee. Did you know there was 3 actors who did work together before in another film that came in the year of 2003? We got Emma Thompson and Colin Firth, got that dude's name right, the one who played the dad, and that young kid with the red hair. I'll show you in the picture. That's him with the spire. So yeah, all 3 of the actors have one thing in common. And you already know what it is, right, ladies and dudes? They do work together in this film, but they never met. Their characters had never met themselves. Well, I guess you already know which one it is. It's the movie called Love Actually. Yeah, everybody's favorite rated R film. I will say it was an okay movie, but they did a good job with their performance. There was a guy who loves this beautiful woman who's Portuguese, and we got a really cute stepson who really loves his stepfather very much, and we got a lady who had trouble with her husband. You know, that came from our dear beloved late actor. Well, if you know Love Actually, you'll know what I'm talking about. And another thing, an interesting fun fact you should know about the 3 actors, they did work with both of the 2 companies who is responsible for this film and Love Actually. One is from Universal Pictures, and the other is Studio Canner. It's so hard to pronounce its name. But you know which companies I'm talking about. So yeah, those 2 companies are responsible for this film and Love Actually. So those are the amazing fun facts you should know about Nanny McPhee. And now let's go on to the most weakest point of Nanny McPhee. And I feel bad for this movie because there is one thing that they did not explain in this whole entire story. And don't get me wrong, I do love this character, but this character needs to be explained a whole lot more. And that is Nanny McPhee's curse. I mean, they never explain about her curse. About the reason why she looks like... Here's a little picture of her to prove it. Yeah, I know, she's funny looking, but she's not ugly. She's just funny looking. I need to know why the heck she looks like that. And I know this Nanny McPhee was based by a book called Nursing Matilda. A book I never read. Yeah, I wish there was a background story about Nanny McPhee's past. You know, like, I'm sure she was once a human being, and I'm sure all the kids had loved her very much. And maybe there are some witches out there who was jealous of her beauty, and they put a curse on her and turn her into whatever that thing is. And I think the only way to break her spell is that the kids need to learn a few things here and there about being well behaved and using good manners and all that stuff. So yeah, the only thing that's missing from the film is I wish they explained about Nanny McPhee's curse. The curse of the reason why she looks like that. If you know what I mean. That's all I could say about the main weak point of the movie that I truly found this film. At least Mary Poppins didn't get involved with the curse, and she's always been her old self. And she looks very, very young. Well, if you ever watch Mary Poppins very carefully, but don't watch Mary Poppins Returns. Worst sequel ever. And now let's go on to the characters of the film. I will go with the two characters that I really like the best in this film. I know they're minor characters or supporting characters, but I don't care. I really do love them. The first character I want to talk about is this lovely, sweet maiden person who takes care of Mr. Brown and the kids. You know, this young Angeline is, if I got her name right. I mean, she's a very, very lovely, sweet character, and she's so kind and generous, and she's just a lovely young lady. And I can understand why that Mr. Brown is truly in love with her, because she's just a very sweet and honest person. And yeah, there was a later on part where she got sent away. Well, I can't tell you what it is, but you gotta see that part of the scene for yourself. I wish there is something else I want to say about this sweet young lady, but that's all I could say about her. I will say for my second character that I want to talk about in this film, and she's truly my most favorite character in the whole entire movie, is that female chef. I freaking love that female chef. She is so darn hilarious. I love her curly red hair, and I like that mad look on her face. And if I remember right, she was once in the military. You know, I think she supports soldiers from the war, and it's her responsibility of giving everybody food. She's just a fun character to watch. I mean, I salute that lady. Well, I think that's all I could say about the chef lady. So, anyway, let's head on to my final thoughts of Nanny McPhee. Overall, Nanny McPhee is a pretty good movie, but I think I like Mary Poppins way, way better. I will say it had a good storyline and it has likable characters. I do like the magic. I frickin' love the score. I frickin' love the climax of the film. But yeah, my major problem I have with this film, I wish they should explain about Nanny McPhee's curse and get to know her background story just a little bit more, if you know what I mean. So yeah, for my rating for this film, I decided to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good movie to watch, but I think I love Mary Poppins way better. So, that's my whole entire movie review of Nanny McPhee. And join me next time for more movie reviews to come. I hope and pray I will do more movies coming really soon for the rest of 2020. I hope things will turn around just a whole lot more. And I hope and pray I'll see Honest Thief in theaters. And that's my main hope movie that I really want to see in theaters. So please, please let me see it. If you know what I mean. And that is it for now. I'll see you guys later, and sayonara.